Hello everybody, I'm Evie Lee. I work for STEM Ambassador East Midlands and I help to run the Young Coders competition. So as I've said before, we are recording this. If you do have any questions, you can make a note of them, write them down in the chat, and there'll be an opportunity to get those questions answered at the end. So let's start. So what is the Young Coders competition? The Young Coders competition is a UK-wide competition looking for young people with the coding skills to be crowned the Young Coders crew. So this is open for children in years 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 in the UK. And you've got the equivalent for Scotland and Northern Ireland there as well. Children can enter individually or as a team of 2 to 6 people. It's the ideal STEM club activity. And we task children to create a game based on a theme using Scratch to enter. Usually this UK-wide competition gets about 600 entries. And what do the winners get? The winners get the prestige of having the Young Coders Crew title for a whole year. I'll go into a little bit more of what that means. Personalised certificate and a shield to prove it, plus money for the school. So if you're not within these ages, the students you want to get involved are not within these ages, that's completely fine. They just won't be able to win the prize money. But we will still aim to get them some feedback because one of our favourite things to do is make sure that everybody gets feedback. So how do the students benefit from taking part? So they can develop programming skills and it promotes creativity. It sparks an interest for them at a younger age in computing and coding, and it builds teamwork, communication, planning, and problem-solving skills. So as I've mentioned before, every entry receives a certificate of participation and feedback from the judges. We think it's really important that anybody who enters gets that feedback so that they can improve themselves for next year or next time, or even when they code in the future. So both primary and secondary UK schools will also receive prize money and a shield. So first prize is 200, second prize is 100, and third prize is £50. We get a lot of entries from overseas, and as a result of this, you get the certificate for best international entry if you score first. But unfortunately, just due to legal reasons, international entries cannot win any money. So CREST award eligibility. So the competition has been assessed as meeting required standards of the British Science Association's CREST Awards. You may have heard of them before. They look really good on CVs and uni applications and are recognised universally in the UK. So students can gain a nationally recognised certificate of achievement. It encourages participation in this scheme at higher levels in the future. So you'll go from doing scientific projects like this or coding to get yourself into kind of a scientific mind frame, up to doing possibly dissertations in the future. And you can do that with CREST Awards. It also, it does have a cost, so it can cost £3 per student and £6 per bronze level student, and CREST grants are available to support and enable schools and organisations to run CREST Awards. I believe at the moment it is Scotland that are giving out bursaries, so you might want to have a look on the website if you're from Scotland to see if you are eligible for any bursaries. There are also different kinds of bursaries that you can see on the website as well. I've put a little link there in case you want to click on that at another time. So the 2025 to 26 theme for this year is Neighbourhood Navigators. The challenge is to create a game using Scratch to teach other children about exciting facts about their local area. So imagine creating games that teach your friends about the history of where you live, the famous landmarks, or the people in your neighbourhood, or the local wildlife and environment. So imagine building a game where players can explore their community, discover hidden gems, or even become a virtual tour guide. The game this year must feature at least 3 interesting facts about your local area. So, for example, if you're in Leicester, you might talk about the Space Centre, about the fact that we've got Walker's Crisps, or even that you found a king in the car park. So we like kind of facts like that. So that's it can do a lot for you to kind of discuss that with your students. So the more creative and fun the game, the better. And we hope that this sparks discussions around the world beyond their classroom, exploring local history, landmarks and wildlife, what they value about their local community. Because we know what we value, what might a child value about their local community? And it's also got practical application for this year's British Science Week theme. Curiosity, what is your question? So we also have some British Science Week themed assemblies coming up, and you can find those through Eventbrite as well. Next, we'll talk about an example from last year. So let me know, I'm going to click this. If it doesn't work, please write in the chat so I can put it on the screen in a different way. So that is an example of a few of the games that won last year for our theme that was budgeting better. So I'm going to also go into a little bit more detail about what makes a good game. So I'm going to show you an example up close. So this game is called Smart, Save Money and Reach Targets. And if we scroll down, we can see that they came second in the Key Stage category for the Young Coders Competition 2025. So part of this is you get recognised on Scratch. You also get added to our Scratch coding winners studio. So let's have a look inside. So as you can see, they've included instructions, very detailed, and notes and credits as well. You can also press here to see inside of the game. In here, you can see that they've labeled and added coders notes to everything that they've coded. That's really helpful for showing, you know, their knowledge of coding, and shows to the judges as well that they are understanding what the code does as well. So you've got the use of coders notes. You can also see there are uses of sound sprites in this as well, and you different backdrops as well. There are loads of different backdrops, and they'll all have their different codes in them as well. A top tip for your coders, for your students who will be coding, if their code gets a little bit messy, we would just recommend you can right click and you can clean up the blocks. So it will just line them up really neatly, and it's just a way for you to make sure that your coding is nice and neat for the judges as well. So how is the competition judged? So we have 2 rounds. We have round 1. Every entry is judged by a panel of STEM ambassadors for constructive feedback and highlight the top 20 games. And this is based on 3 judging criteria: functionality, aesthetics, and community responsibility. And then you've got round 2, which is the top 20 games are then judged by a panel of primary school students at Park Junior School using the same criteria. After winning the competition 3 years in a row, they are now our winning deciders for the first, second, and third place winners instead of participating. They take their role very, very seriously. So just in case you're not aware, STEM ambassadors are STEM professionals who work in all areas of STEM all over the UK. In this instance, they would be coding professionals who are asked to judge. If you need any help on your coding or want any guidance on anything kind of computing or STEM related, they're available to assist any students with anything that they need if you are UK based. And you can go on the website and make sure that you put in a request to do that. So judging criterion example feedback. So there are 3 different criterias. You've got functionality, which is 33%. They are all equally weighted. Does the game work as intended, and is it easy to play? Does the game include original and well-written code? Aesthetics, 33%. Does the game display correctly and look attractive? Is the game imaginative and fun to play? And then finally, you've got community responsibility. Is the game accessible for its target audience? E.g., is it suitable for peers of the same age, of 7 to 13 years? And how well does the game address the theme? So this year, the judges will be kind of using community responsibility along with the new criteria, which is the game must feature at least 3 interesting facts about your local area. So making sure particularly that community responsibility is followed as well. So most common issues that have come up in the past with judges is that it doesn't fit the theme and the judge has no context, as no code notes or sources were included. So just making sure that you are giving them hints and stuff on community responsibility functionality and aesthetics. And you've got a student support sheet available in the pack as well, just to give a little bit of an example as to what a student might need. Give them a little bit more support. Next, you've got the project pack overview, and this is just a way of you helping your students and getting them excited about the competition. So you've got assembly slides. You could have an assembly to introduce the competition. You've got a printable poster, so you can print and hang posters around your school or your co-club, etc. You've also got the Young Coders website. So we've got a list of our previous winners on the website, and there's also links to social media. So we've got our Scratch studio there as well, so they can go and have a look at games that have won in the past. And the top 50 of each game for the year, they make sure, let me say that again. The top 50 for each theme each year is shown in the Scratch studio as well, if they want to have a look at any sort of games that came in the top 50 as well. Next, we've got our project pack overview resources planning. So we've made a handy dandy holy grail of resources planning for you, so you can have a look and have an overview of the resources. So you've got 12 weeks for complete beginners. We want to support you in your teaching as well. If you're not familiar with Scratch, this is a great way for you to get all the support that you need. So that includes 10 weeks of session plans, and you've got weeks 11 and 12, which are included in the planning, but they're not linked to any particular lesson plan. So you can use it for short terms, excursions, or if you need extra time to focus on one particular skill that your students might not have grasped as easily. And then you've also got 6 weeks for those with some Scratch experience. So week 6 is also included, but also it's not linked, so you've got that extra flexibility. These resources have been refreshed to ensure that they meet the national curriculum and that they each have a PowerPoint for each of the lessons. So you'll be able to see this resources planning and see any lessons, and also should be able to just do a lesson with the resources that we've given you. Next, you've got some more documents to help you and if you need any advice from us. So you've got your student support sheet, which I've mentioned above. It's got all of the criteria that a student might need. It also reminds them of what the theme is. And there's just all loads of different keywords and stuff. Next, you've got Teach FAQ. This is on the project pack as well, but we've also got one on the website. So if you do find that you aren't sure about something, have a look at the website, have a look at the Teacher FAQ on the project pack as well. But if you do need any help, in the next slide, there is an email, and we do have social media if you need to get into contact with us. We've also got a glossary of words. So if you come across a word that is a bit tricky, or a student says, oh, I don't know what this means, you can have a look at the glossary, and most likely the coding word will be there. If in the lesson planning it is bolded, it should be in the glossary. So now I'll hand it over to you. If you've got any questions, you can unmute or you can type them in the chat. How do we submit the work? So this will be coming up in the next slide. Let's go to the next slide for now. So you can submit your entries by the deadline, which is the Friday, 8th of May. There is a way for you to submit individual entries. So you've got, you can click the link there, or it will be in the project pack as well. When you register on the website, that gives you a link to the project pack. So the individual entries, that is a form, and we expect an adult to fill out that form on the behalf of a student. If you're a teacher and you're doing it with your class, you've got an option to have multiple entries. We've got a multiple entry form that you can fill out, and that just stops you needing to fill out the individual entry form over and over again. You can submit all of your students' entries in one big go. Can we have the recording? I was a bit late. Yes, you'll be able to have the recording of this session later, and you'll be able to have access to the slides as well. Thank you. So once we register, will the assembly pack and lessons be included? Yes. Let me get it up for you. I can show you what the project pack looks like once you've signed up and registered. I'm just going to share my screen. So once you've signed up on the system, you'll be able to get a link to come and look at this Google document, this Word document. This is the 2026 Young Coders Project Pack, and all of this includes a letter for you to share with parents or guardians or any other teachers. It's got a bit of an open letter, and it shows you all of the planning and what's included in this pack. So you can scroll down and you'll be able to see basically a holy grail of information of anything you might need. So assembly slides, assembly script, printable posters, and on these posters, we've given you the option to write in which room you might be doing this lesson in, or which area and what time. So if you have a click onto there, you'll be able to see this poster is editable and you can use it to print it, use it around the school. You've also got documents for help and advice here. And we've included some YouTube videos, so if you need any help understanding the entry form, have a look at these as well. Is it possible to let in another teacher who did not register? Yes, it's completely fine. A teacher would need to register so that we are aware that they are taking part in the competition. So yeah, you can let in another teacher, but please make sure that you are doing that kind of in the same room as each other, or working together at the same school. That's completely fine. Will the children need their login to Scratch, their own login to Scratch? So yeah, you can have teacher accounts. So on Scratch, you are able to make teacher accounts, which will just like assign a student an account. I think it is in the FAQ. Let me have a look. Here we go. So a teacher account in Scratch lets you link the students to your account so you can see what they're working on. You can change their password. So if they forget their password, you can change it for them and you can easily access their projects. However, children having their own accounts means they do learn the valuable skills of like signing in and out and managing their own files. Also, if they've got their own account, they're less likely to access other children's projects by accident. Just as a reminder, I've put in the bottom, British Science Week, we are having some virtual assemblies. So we'll be having some STEM ambassadors come to do some friendly talks about kind of the questions that you ask when you're coding, and how their coding relates to their neighbourhood and neighbouring stuff. So have a look at that if you're interested. It's a good way to get your students thinking about British Science Week and asking questions and curiosity. So just to reiterate, if there's no other questions, you can submit your entries by the deadline, Friday, 8th of May, 2026. You've got individual entries, which is an individual submission form. That is a Google form, and it is also on our website. And you've also got a multiple entry form. If you need help or if you want me to send you one, please get in touch and I can forward one to you. We've also got the competition and more updates on our website. So if you want to register your interest, have a look at the project pack that I showed you earlier and get some regular updates. Check out our website, codingcompetition.org. And if you need any help, I'm always here for any further guidance. If you need any help getting access to the resources, please email me. My email is right there. So if I've not got any other questions, have a good night, everybody. Have a good rest of your week. I did hear that there was a severe weather warning. If you're around the East Midlands or if that affects you, make sure that you're staying safe. But yeah, happy coding. Good luck to all of your students. Thank you.